For being late. I was trying to set up. Let me put the retouch on because my hair is a disaster. How are you guys? Hello, good evening. Oh, yes, Josephine. Oh, yes. Apologies for those of us that normally expect this live on Saturdays. I've been in Portugal. I literally just got back like 1 a.m. Sunday. That was when I posted that message. Sorry, no, midnight? Almost midnight. That's when I posted that message that my as ever goods have shipped. And excuse my wonky eyelash. I just came in from Portugal, so my eyelashes at this point are gonna do what they do. How's everybody doing? Trying to get us more light in here, guys. How are you doing? Hope you're all doing well. Give me a second. I'm adjusting. Okay. Let me see. Should I do it the other way? What's better? I wanted to put the camera on this side today because I wanted to have a better view of the TV. How's everybody doing today? Hope you're all doing well. Like I said, apologies for this very unusual time for our live. This most likely will be the last time we do it on a Sunday. Like I said, last week was a bit of an experiment. This week it's really just it's because I just got back from Portugal and my brain is everywhere. I haven't settled in. Hi, how are you? I'm doing well, Josephine. Thank you for joining. I hope your Sunday is going well. I'm very excited now that my as ever has shipped. I'm very excited, guys. I try to keep things as natural as possible because I find a lot of YouTube channels have become a bit overproduced. But I mean, I should at the very least get myself good lighting. So I've ordered, right now I'm using natural sunlight, but like, it's late in the day, so that won't last for long. But yeah, I'm going to get like a normal camera. But you know me, I'm all natural. I don't have the time. Even my eyelashes, they're so embarrassingly misaligned. Part of the reason why I'm putting the camera this way, so it doesn't go recorded with my lashes looking terrible. Good evening to everybody that has joined the live. Whether you are a member of the channel, thank you. Whether you are a subscriber, I hope you are, guys. Please continue to like, subscribe, and share. I want the community to grow a bit faster now. I've already dedicated. From now, I'm going to be doing everything I can to goal. The goal for the end of the year, guys, is 3K. What do you think? Is that too low? Sorry, not 3K, 4K. There was a time I was getting a lot of, I don't know what happened. But yeah, I'm trying to like grow the channel more and get more support. If you can, on social media platforms, please share my channel. I don't ask for too much. Things are tight. I'm not asking anybody to support if they can financially. But please like, subscribe, and share. We have a lot to talk about today, guys. As you may have seen from the front of my channel, Kate is a thief and a stalker. Now, I've already spoken about this briefly, but I would like to get to the tea. Okay. But I'm going to try and get to the tea of the matter. And I want you guys to let me, because I think we can all agree the British press is not going to talk about this. They're going to pretend this embarrassing show by her ex-stylist did not happen, because of course they will. Their job is to report history in a particular way. They will never report the wins for posterity because they are under this delusional idea that when historians are going to be talking about the Windsors, they're only going to stick to ITV, Daily Mail of all places, and the Sun, which is, again, it just feeds into the continuing delusion of the British royal rota. Right, they actually think in the annals of history they will be more than a footnote. I personally, I think that's very cute. Everything they've tried to do to Meghan has been an utter and complete failure. So Oh, you are. I wish. I know if you guys continue to join the membership, there's a way to get to a tier where we can share videos. I might do it here, or I might just create a Discord channel for all of us. But yeah, it'd be so nice to see your pictures of your cookies, all the things that you're making with the As Ever products. I know I saw a video. I'm putting a compilation together of funny enough of what people are doing with As Ever. There was a video I saw that I've been looking for, about somebody who uses As Ever honey to make a to make a certain type of butter. They also use the apricot spread to infuse together with butter to make it, maybe to make it taste nicely, or to make it taste different. I thought that that's so creative. I saw somebody say on X that they want to make with as ever Napa wine rosé cupcakes. So it's kind of like, ooh la la, wouldn't that be fun? So yeah, I wish there was a way we could all come together and show off all the things we've been doing with Meghan's products. I don't know if her team, she must have a social media team. Hopefully her social media team will see it and be touched and everything. So yeah, for today we're going to start with Lying Rider Catherine. Princess Catherine is a thief, guys, as I said before. Stealing style, stealing swag. The only problem is, and I mentioned it, that copying each other isn't even the problem, in my opinion. Let's be honest, everybody does it, even celebrities. But like, they think that Meghan's effect is because of how she dresses. That's not it. Meghan could have been wearing the exact same frumpy fits and she would have still been popular. Why? Because of what she represents. There's no faking that. She's already, through no fault of her own, by the virtue of the fact that she is a woman of color, she already represents something completely different into the so-called upper 1% of the British royal family, right? Kate, none of the white members of that family can even come anywhere near that type of, I don't know, legging, if you will. Unless Kate decides to go transracial, I don't see it. It's not about the clothes. And this is how you know it's not just William and Kate that are completely out of touch. They clearly don't know what the hell. And the baffling thing for me is, okay, you don't know. Well, all that money, you can't hire people, and it's not just hiring your Lord Whipping Ass's son or Lord Tiverton's nephew. You know, it's not just hiring your friends' children so you can keep the colonial slave money running forever and ever. If you want to modernize, you need to look at the market you are modernizing to. People see all through that pretentious shit, right? The allure of the royal family. Honestly, we can get something similar from celebrities, and we do. People call Beyonce the queen. You know, I think Taylor Swift has fans who treat her like, she's the Holy Spirit. We don't need you to be another celebrity. Does that make sense? We already live in a celebrity culture. We need you to take this privilege that you have and use it to do good for others, right? Nobody in the royal family has to be born into the royal family, just like I didn't ask to be born black. But here we are. Here we are. And we need to try and use whatever platform we have to leave a mark on this planet, do some good in this world. I will never have as much money as Kate and her useless husband. So it's baffling, but like, no, that's not what I mean. I mean, like, you don't choose what you're born as. I love being black. What? I would never settle for anything else. It's in my bloodline, it's in my DNA, it's in my family. I'm very proud of where I'm from. But I didn't choose to be born African. I didn't choose to be born Nigerian. I didn't choose to be any of those things. That is what the fates gave me. And I'm grateful. right? If I had the platform that Will and Kate had, the things I would do in this world would be, as in, even the smallest things. There would be no food banks, right? I know that they are supposed to get involved in politics, but I would personally can lobby that we need to do something about helping the ex-veterans, mental health, employment, a feeling of satisfaction. The same thing for people of color, you know. But then again, I can say that because I am a person of color. I did not grow up with great privilege. So there are some hard, so life isn't this fantasy fairy tale in my head. I have had to face some very hard truths. And that is why, honestly, people like me appeal to the masses. That is why people like Meghan appeal to the masses. It wasn't just that she was beautiful. It wasn't just that she was biracial black. It wasn't any of that. It's because you look at Meghan, you can see somebody that you can relate to. We all know somebody who is working class, or who grew up lower working class, that's maybe approaching middle class now. Many of us are. We can relate to that, not coming from anything and having an entrepreneurial spirit to push yourself. We can relate to Meghan's excellence. And that is something that Kate does not have. So it doesn't matter how many stylists you swagger jack. It doesn't matter if all your, in short, it doesn't matter if in Kate's office, if we can call it an office, she has a whiteboard. And all that's on the whiteboard are pictures of Meghan from when she was 20 up to date. You cannot copy that essence. That's not something you can copy. And that's why Meghan is hated. If it was just the case of, oh, pretty biracial, ambiguous, black looking girl who could pass for white in many circles, she is already a fashion icon too. She meets fashion standards. She's extremely light skinned, borderline white. Her hair is straight. She could market to a very wide selection of a very diverse palette. She's perfect for that. Yeah? But it's not, that wasn't what, for me anyway, as a fan of Meghan, her beauty, yes. But I'm a heterosexual woman, so I mean I can admire a beautiful woman, but doesn't, you're charmed by how pretty she is. And you're like, oh, I love her hair, I love her clothes. You know, I like the way she carries herself. She's confident. You love the fact that she's a well-educated, well-traveled, philanthropic woman. You love that because that was everything she was before she met Harry. So clearly this is who she was. She always carried herself at that level. So I guess what I'm trying to say in a long rambling way, and I'm sorry for that, guys, stay with me, is Kate Middleton, Princess Catherine. It doesn't matter how many whiteboards you have of Duchess Meghan, or if you go stalking her Shop My page, or you photocopy every picture of her from now to tomorrow, you just don't have Meghan's aura. That aura has nothing to do with her clothes. So now that I've said my piece, let's talk about this let me just read some articles. So that for those of you who are not familiar with the story, so at least you are brought up to speed. Sorry guys, I'm trying to cast so that we can hi Ite, how are you guys? So guys, we are about to, wow, the chat is really lighting up with so much stuff. And yes, I can see all the bots. I'm going to get to it. So I've already given my initial thoughts about this whole clothes jacking and stalking shenanigans. So now I'm going to quickly read an article from Tatler for you guys. Let me just share my screen. Hopefully you guys can see that. So we're going to be reacting to this. So yeah, Natasha Archer, one of the Princess of Wales' most trusted confidants, has left Kensington Palace for pastures new. Notice how they didn't make any noise about this, but Meghan and Harry changing one of their team members. All of a sudden, it's front page news. Useless people. Natasha Archer is definitely someone you would want in your corner. With over a decade's experience as Kate Middleton's right-hand woman and the unofficial stylist said to be responsible for for revolutionizing Catherine's wardrobe. Oh, so she was unofficial. Interesting. Archer has long been crucial to the smooth running of Kensington Palace. Wow, that's a lot to say. From royal tours to hospital wards, her role as mastermind and trusted confidant has seen her work her way up from through the ranks of the royal inner circle. No wonder then that society is at whirl. What? About her newest endeavor after leaving her job as senior private executive assistant to the Prince and Princess of Wales. Okay, so I assume that she was in staff when they made the decision to go to the Caribbean and do colonialism cosplay. You see why I can't take these people seriously? I told you guys at the beginning, all they do is they hire their own friends, the children of their father's friends, all these rich men's children who've never had to work with the average person, who doesn't know anything about what's going on in our world, who just sits on this sea of privilege and access. Useless people. Anyway, what's next for Natasha Archer? The mother of two is switching her focus to private luxury consultancy, according to a swanky new Instagram account. Archer is already building up the follower count, and elsewhere, a new website promises more information coming soon, offering would-be clients looking for a dash of royal energy a chance to join a mailing list. So that's very Meghan-esque. Is that me? I think it sounds very Meghan-esque. What might that royal touch entail? 1 billion for the UK economy naturally. While Natasha Archer is surely not 100% responsible for the Kate effect. The Kate effect. Please let me know in the chat which other useless words can we put together since we're basically speaking nonsense right now. There is no such thing as the Kate effect. So basically, guys, they are explaining what the Kate effect is. Where clothes worn by the Princess of Wales see such an uptick in sales that it seems to swing the pendulum of the nation's fiscal policy. Wow. All of that is on Kate. British people in the chat, do you agree that Catherine Middleton is responsible for the flourishing, if we can call it flourishing, £1 billion British fashion industry? Please let me know in the chat. All of you already know my answer anyway. So she is widely credited for overhauling Catherine's style in the early years of the future Queen's royal career. Right. Known to her nearest and dearest as Tash, the 37-year-old mother of two joined the palace in 2010, working as a personal assistant for Prince William and Prince Harry. It was after William married Kate Middleton in 2011 that Archer began working alongside the then Duchess of Cambridge, and by 2013, she had become one of Catherine's closest aides. So strong was their bond that she was one of the select few permitted to join Catherine behind the scenes at the Lindo wing after she gave birth to Prince George. Recounting the story to the Telegraph, a source said she was seen. Okay, I don't care about this. The following year, her keen eye for fashion meant that Archer was promoted to the position of Catherine's personal stylist. In order, says Grazia, to fulfill the late queen's wish that her daughter-in-law dress in a more regal manner. So basically, Natasha, if this article is to be believed, was responsible for those frumpy fits, which I don't know if she's serious, but this is not helping her career. But I digress. Her influence itself, known as known as Kate, began to debut her new look during the 2014 tour of Australia and New Zealand. Natasha and Kate get on very well. A source told the outlet at the time. She has always supported and advised Kate, and the Duchess loves Natasha's style, so it seemed like an obvious appointment. Natasha has been helping Kate pick outfits for the New Zealand and Australia tour. It was undoubtedly a high stakes trip, with the future queen wearing 24 outfits over the 19-day engagement. That's probably the most this woman has ever worked in her life. But the visit to the Antipodes is now considered a milestone in the Princess of Wales fashion evolution. I have no idea what they are talking about, so I don't know if this can even be considered to be a milestone, but okay. From the emerald green Catherine Walker dress to the jet black Jenny Packham number, it was a showcase for many of the designers who will become synonymous with Kate's frumpy style throughout the decade to come, from ascot to earthshot and everything in between. Archer then became a mainstay in Catherine. Oh my god, this is so long. Do you guys remember this dress? Do you guys remember this dress? And people took the green and used it to put all sorts of pictures on it. That was hilarious. If Kate did not fire her for this dress, and I don't know, then I guess Kate has a bigger problem than, well. Guys, this story is so boring. So if I had to summarize this article, which I did not realize was actually going to be talking about her at that much, my bad, guys. The long and short of it is, rich white woman who had access to Duchess Catherine, who was dressing her according to them from 2014, decided that she was going to leave, take all her royal contacts with her to go and fleece delusional middle class to upper middle class nouveau rich women all over the world that want to say they have some sort of affiliation and association with the royal family by pretending to give them insights into style, where really she's just copying Meghan's clothes. Right, got it. Now let me just turn it back to me. Yeah, now you know what, I can't even shade, guys. People have been dragging this woman all week. Well deserved, squaddies. They were saying, as they rightly should. If you guys haven't seen it, I'll post it on here as well. Apparently, as soon as this woman left the employ of Kate, or as soon as it became official, she decided that she was going to open her Instagram, which I believe was to promote her new business. And what people found, because the squaddies are always on point, and it has been very clear for years that Kate has been swagger jacking from Meghan. Again, following somebody, copying somebody's style is the highest form of flattery. So I wasn't mad, to be honest. But it's very interesting that the British royal rota have either denied or pretended not to observe that Catherine started dressing differently when Meghan came on the scene. The only problem, as I was trying to say before, albeit in a rambling way, was when Meghan wears her clothes, she wears them with the confidence of somebody who has something to say. when Catherine wears those types of power suits, somebody who doesn't work, who has never contributed in any way, shape, or form to any workforce, watching her wear a suit because it fits on her skinny frame looks ridiculous. Oh, was he? Thanks, Lona. I didn't know that. You see? Useless people. Guys, check out Lona's comments. Let me read it out. Natasha's husband, Chris Jackson, was the one photographing Meghan at the Germany IG Games and altering her pictures to give her wrinkles. They had to call in another photographer. And I'm thinking to myself, why would you spoil your reputation like that? So that, and this is how the cult of the royal family is so pervasive. This is why they won't let it go until maybe the millennials or younger take over. They won't let it go because they have been brainwashed into believing, in this country, at least in the UK, and many colonies, let's keep it 500%, that are part of the Commonwealth, have been brainwashed to believe that the highest honor of your life is having an affiliation with with the British royal family, whether it's by marriage, whether it's by business, whether it's by friendship. They it is the highest accolade you could literally get for yourself in the UK right now. It doesn't matter. That's why you find a lot of people that are actively bending over backwards to defend the royal family, even though they're not adding any value. It's because in their mind, who doesn't want to grovel at the royal family? We have a lot of boomers and Generation X. That mentality, we need to remove it. We need to get rid of them before any real change can come. And it does make me very happy because Charles is a terrible king. William is going to be worse. So in my opinion, because William is such a bad king, it's going to probably fuel the Republican Party, who by then will be full of the older people, the voting class will be millennials, right? I'm very curious to see if the monarchy will survive after William. But you never know, guys. These guys are like cockroaches. They survived Diana, which was the one time I could literally, even as a child, I could feel that, okay, these people are probably not liked. But they survived it somehow. But maybe people say it's because of the queen, but well, you never know. Right, so I want to quickly, I have another article here from Celeb Bitchy about the Stylist. So I like Celeb Bitchy is hit and miss, but she gives me excerpts from articles that I can't post on my channel because of monetization. So we're going to react to some of the comments from her. Let me turn it back. Yeah. Right. Princess Kate's stylist, Natasha Archer, was following a lot of Meghan's friends on IG. This does not surprise me at all. Not at all, guys. I am not surprised at all. This is from Celebrity. One of my least favorite royalist things is when people willfully play dumb, about how much the Princess of Wales copies her sister-in-law, the Duchess of Sussex. You'd think, given Kate's behavior towards Meghan and Kate's reported hatred of everything Meghan represents, Kate would take at least the pains to avoid wearing Meghan-inspired outfits. You'd think Kate would make an effort to avoid comparisons rather than invite them and go the royalist media to declare Kate the winner in the endless war against the Sussexes. You will be wrong on all counts. Since 2017, Kate has been obsessed not just with Meghan, but being liked and admired like Meghan. We've always joked that Kate has some kind of Meghan mood board, which she references and updates constantly. Well, what if Kate actually does have a Meghan mood board and Kate's unofficial stylist, Natasha Archer, was the one who constantly updated it? We just spoke about it, guys. Now that Natasha has quit working for Kate, Natasha turned her private Instagram back to public. People began creeping around her IG because trust and checking which accounts she follows. And it looks like that stalker followed what Meghan wore, which IDs all of Meghan's outfits. Diane, former president of Actual, Delphina Blackhair, Nachos Figueras' wife, Nachos Figueras, Jessica Mulroney, Meghan's Canadian bestie and former stylist Daniel Martin, Meghan's bestie and makeup artist Abigail Spencer, Meghan's bestie, highbrow hippie, Meghan's colorist Claire Waite Keller, Meghan's wedding dress designer, and several of Meghan's known famous friends. Guys, what the actual F? This is such creepy stalker behavior. I agree. And I don't want to ever hear another word about Kate Meghan cosplay is just a coincidence. Okay. I agree. I didn't even know that she was following this many people. I'm looking kind of surprised, but not really. CB double checked. I don't know who's CB. Anyway, CB double checked Archer's account this morning, and according to CB, Archer is now only following 363 accounts versus the 1,709 from the screenshots. She unfollowed incriminating accounts like What Meghan Wore, Delphina Blackhair, Jessica Mulroney, and Daniel Martin. She is still following Abigail Spencer and Highbrow Hippie. Some of you are theorizing that Archer wanted her account exposed and that this was her way of confirming obsession with Meghan. I don't know, it's messy as F. Do I think, here is my own contribution. I don't know if I believe this, I don't know, that might be true, but I also think it makes sense that she would want her account to be public if she plans to use her experience working for Kate to, get customers, and they can go in and see all the clothes that she's. But do I also think that she would want to affiliate herself with Meghan because of all the press and the way it would look? I don't think so. Not for a new business. It might very well be that she's such a small fish. She didn't think people would probably look on her Instagram page, or maybe she really is that petty. I don't know why she and Kate broke up. Maybe they broke. I don't see why she couldn't have continued her business while continuing to consult with Kate. But maybe those are the terms of engagement. I don't know. Either way, it's not public knowledge. Let me see if I can expand this so we can see. Yeah. So here is this account, Duchess Grace on Insta peeped that Kitty's ex-stylist followed Meghan's inner circle on Insta. So we now know, stop acting that we don't know where Kitty got her inspiration from. So here it is, guys. Here it is. See? Nobody is making up a lot of stuff. See? I love that nowadays we screenshot stuff. So these are the people that she follows. And if she's following them and styling Kate with them, then of course people are right to say that she is taking inspiration from Meghan. And that it is what it is. Some other contributions on X, Le Katerina, who I love, Middleton Stylist account, follows what Meg wore account and all of Meghan's closest friends, which is weird. And yeah, they summarize it perfectly. Meghan's wedding dress designer, skincare specialist, hair colorist, best friends, Meghan's husband's best friend, the friend's wife, I mean, come on, guys, it's weird. See, all of them. These are who she was following before she deleted all the accounts. Loser. After all that, Kate still looks a hot mess. Okay. And for those of you who don't believe they copy the clothes, I mean, come on now. See this? See this? And the reason it doesn't look effective on Kate is really very simple. Kate doesn't come off as a businesswoman. Meghan comes off as the same way Emma. She reminds me of what's her name? Uh, what's the word? Boss black women or boss women of color. Emma Greed. You guys saw the picture she and Emma Greed took. It worked so well. They're both skinny mixed race women. They're both married to white men, but they're both playing in a field that is very new and not new, a field that people like them are not represented in. The way Meghan carries herself, and women like Meghan, independent women, rich women, self-important and confident women, women who know their worth. There's a way they carry themselves in clothes. The power suits. It's not just for fashion, Catherine. Meghan can walk and can exude that aura because she is a working woman. She's a hustler. She's exactly she's what I call a corporate baddie. You know, she's a boss bee. We can relate to that because a lot of millennial women want to be or are boss bees. You can't emulate that, Catherine, just by copying Meghan's clothes. If you want to come off with any type of confidence, you would do right. You will call Meghan, apologize to her. You will call Harry and Meghan, apologize to them for questioning how dark their child was going to be. That was stupid loser behavior. You will ask Meghan to take you under her wing and teach you how to be an effective woman of today. And you will send a statement to your royal guard dogs to back off. You will talk to William and talk to the king and say, this thing you are doing to Harry is wicked. In as much as you don't deserve him, he still very much loves you. Give him security so that he can feel comfortable bringing his family back home. That is what the future queen would do. It's not just copying Meghan's clothes, Kate, and hiding in the palace and hiding in your privilege. Use your platform to do something. Then maybe people will start respecting you. Now, back to what I was saying, Jerry, guys. So now that we know that Kate is a lying liar and she cavorts with people that are criminals, like that stalker, I have some other things. Let's talk about the next thing that is causing me a great amount of effing irritation right now. I'll put the article on the screen and then we can have a conversation about it. I've been thinking about ways to discuss this article. Initially, I wasn't going to discuss this article, but I thought to myself, you know what? Let's discuss this article. Because I have to admit, guys, it is not who is annoying me is not who you think. Sorry, guys, one sec. I'm just trying to cast my screen. I wasn't going to have this conversation, but like I said, this was supposed to be a big reveal, but my Ah, okay. Sorry about that, guys. I'm trying to get the screen share back, but apparently I have done something. Apparently. Sorry about that, guys. So I'm ready to talk about it now. Let me share my screen. This is going to be very vitriolic, so bear with me. Yeah. This conversation. Now, who am I annoyed with? Honestly, a lot of the Sussex squad. You guys are annoying me now. And I'll tell you why. Why let's look at the heading first of all. Why did the King and Prince Harry's senior staff decide to meet face to face? I'm going to go to the article, then I'll tell you why I find the response annoying from the squad. Much has been written about a peace summit, quote unquote, between members of the royal family, between the members of staff who work for King Charles's office and Prince Harry. The meeting took place on Wednesday afternoon at a private members club close to Buckingham Palace. So is this the start of a thaw in relations between father and son, or just a regular meeting between those who head up the communication teams in their respective offices? The meeting or summit or catch up coffee introductory chat, this guy's an idiot, involves three individuals. Two were from what is officially called Office of Prince Harry and Meghan, Duke and Duchess of Sussex, and one from the Royal Communications Department at Buckingham Palace. On Team Harry, were Meredith Maines, the Sussex Chief Communications Officer, who is based in California and lives near Harry and Meghan's Montecito home, and Liam Maguire, a long-time comms professional who now heads up the couple's PR operation in the UK. On Team Royal Family was Tobin Andre, who is the King and Queen's press secretary and the most senior courtier from the comms operation in the royal household. They met at private club in St. James's area called Royal Overseas League. It is a short walk from Clarence House, where the King and Queen live, and the mall on Sunday, which first broke the story. The Mail on Sunday photographed them on the club balcony, which overlooks Green Park. We do not know what they spoke about at the meeting, but the fact that it happened at all does suggest some positive movement in relations between the two sides. Meredith Maines was recruited by Harry and Meghan earlier this year to shake up their comms operation. She was also in the room in California during Prince Harry's most recent television interview, where he claimed his father wouldn't talk to him because of the legal row about his security when he's in the UK. Harry also said in that interview that he didn't know how long his father had left, which infuriated the palace as it was deemed to be deeply intrusive and insensitive when King Charles has deliberately not shared any details about his cancer prognosis. Relations hit rock bottom after that interview was shared globally, but this summertime meeting suggests both sides were willing to clear the air. It is also the first time Miss Maines has been in the UK since she took up her new role. I don't know how they would know that, but that's okay. And she came to personally oversee the press operation here and meet some members of the media and representative of Prince Harry's UK charities. But crucially, this meeting didn't have to happen. After all, Harry has previously been to the UK to carry out charity work and failed to see his father despite being just a mile apart in central London. His PR team could have taken the same approach, but it would appear they decided to reach out to Buckingham Palace, arrange a meeting in London that would not have happened without the explicit authorization of their bosses Harry and Meghan. The Sussexes have recently shaken up their press operation, hiring Miss Maines in California, Mr. Maguire in the UK, whilst letting go of their existing teams. Emily Robinson was appointed to look after Harry and Meghan's PR in the US. Mr. Maguire has a similar role for the UK. Both report into Miss Maines. It coincides with a new chapter for Harry and Meghan since they quit the royal family. Focusing now with Meghan's business interests, her show with Love Meghan, and her expanding range of merchandise under her As Ever brand. You know, that's right. As Ever sells, oh God, Meghan's much talked about jam, edible flour sprinkles, as well as the recent launch of a new rosé wine from Napa Valley. The products are currently only available to the US, but the royal team at ITV News recently got our hands on some of Meghan's sprinkles, which we tasted on this week's Talking Royal podcast. Losers! Last week's meeting of the two sides is also important for this reason. The senior comms officials agreed to meet despite the palace's angry responses, both privately and publicly, to Harry's interview with the BBC. What public response was there? Anyway, Prince Harry will be returning to his home country in the autumn for a series of engagements with his charity and UK-based operations. He usually does head to London at this time of year, but no longer with his wife and children, as Harry has repeatedly claimed it is not safe for Archie, Meghan, and Lilibet to be in the UK due to his security arrangements, which he considers insufficient. The Court of Appeal recently decided otherwise, however. Right, so you guys can go back and rewind to hear that again if you missed some of that article. So here is why, like I said, my annoyance with the squad was how we reacted to this news. We've said this numerous times, guys. Until it comes from Harry and Meghan, it is speculation. It's not fact. It's not even news. It is literally clickbait, because this entire article, top to bottom, doesn't divulge any information. He just repeats old shit that we all knew. Said that Harry's team met Buckingham Palace team. Why? He doesn't know. What for? He doesn't know. Is this their first time? They are assuming it is. But let's play devil's advocate. And it is the first time they've met. So, and in a way, he's kind of sort of answered some of the question himself. Although I don't know why he skipped it. Maybe that was intentional, or he's just that bad a journalist. The Invictus Games are coming. Right? And unless Charles wants to humiliate himself again and forget that he is in charge of the British military, so he needs to be seen to attend and engage with anything that shows them in a good light. Also, Charles, that is your biological child. The only relevant thing that anybody in the royal family has done, that people in this generation and beyond, it is literally above reproach. You should be proud of your child for doing something no other person, including yourself, has been able to do. Keep this useless family relevant. another generation. Because for these Invictus Games alone, which one can argue, you don't need the entire apparatus of the royal family to keep this going. Harry can always pass this on to, can pass this as his legacy to the UK and say, look, this was my patronage. I give it to you. Or he can pass it to his son or his daughter or both of them, and they can continue this tradition of creating a games where injured servicemen can find their dignity. So Charles refusing to go to the Invictus Games again on his own soil. That's why you see the press is softly, in my opinion, they are softly goading Charles. That, look, Charles, everything else we've been covering for your ass. Your infidelity, the fact that you are a terrible father and a terrible grandfather, and the fact that you are a racist, we've covered up for you with all, and the horrible way you've treated your child. We've covered up for you. But this one, oh, sorry, let me say it. We have barely covered up for you. But this one, you missed these games. But they already have their excuse, guys. Camilla is going to be 80 years old. And I think that alone is enough justification to miss the celebration of ex-veterans. Anyway, Sussex Squad, my last thoughts on these are, please, it is not everything we must engage with. Respond and keep it pushing. We don't believe you. Or let's wait and see what Harry and his team come out with. If anything at all, it might just be a routine meeting. This whole peace summit nonsense is nonsense that they have made up. And now for the next 2 weeks, this is the news they'll be beating to death until news that actually confirms what was discussed comes out, debunks all the rubbish that they've said, and then it is rinse, repeat, rewash. They keep using the squad and the defensiveness we have for Meghan and our viral nature online for clickbait. They know full and damn well that it may not be a peace summit. They are just saying it because they know it triggers people. So you guys should stop falling for the bait. Just ignore them unless we hear it directly from Archwell or we hear it directly from the Sussexes, because we all know good and well they would not be talking to the British media. Unless we hear it directly from them, everything is hearsay or allegedly. So it's not everything you're supposed to be getting angry about. It is what it is. Just ignore them. So we've spoken about that, and I hope I won't have to speak about that again. Not that I don't care, but I really don't. I think it's in nothing burger that the British media intentionally blew out of proportion because they know how to wind up the Sussex Squad. And they do it for engagement. So stop engaging with them. Exactly, Sean. Exactly. I mean, stop engaging with them. They're using us for clickbait. Not everything is worth responding to. So Kitty Cat went to... Oh, Catherine. I was going to ignore you. Because I was feeling, guys, I was feeling bad. Sometimes I do feel bad. I'm not a deranger. And I don't like... I don't like when it seems like I'm picking on someone. But Kitty Cat, Royal Racist Kate. I'm going to just post this video of how they were going to do our weekly reaction to that garbage, that show of pure farce, lies, and BS, Daily Mail Royals. Thanks for the content, Daily Mail Royals. Because you guys lie so much, I have guaranteed content every week for my live. Okay, so I'm going to share the screen so we can talk about Catherine. Shall we? I know. Let's get the ugly out of the way before we focus on the good. We're going to look at some of the As Ever wine reviews. So, for those of you who don't know Josephine Imisiola Oluwa, she has said she's not a member of the squad, but I enjoy her because she does post content I normally would not be able to post without getting cash into trouble. So I like engaging with her. So let's listen to this nonsense then.
doubles, first all-British pair to do that since 1936. And Prince George and Princess Charlotte love their tennis. They've been here to Wimbledon before. And also we saw the Princess of Wales yesterday. So consoling to Amanda Anisimova. The Prince of Wales has been busy. He's been out in Switzerland at the Women's Euros, and I suspect will definitely be keeping an eye and an ear on England versus Wales this evening. But also you see there representatives of the ball boys and ball girls who've done such a good job here. 250 of them in total, and those chosen to be introduced to the royal party are Sienna, who's 18 years old, from just the back of her head. She's from Wimbledon High, and two...
Sorry, guys. So, Kitty Cat went to Wimbledon yesterday. Yay. I know you guys were very excited to see her. I wasn't in the UK yesterday. Guys, what I was made to understand was it was well into the 30s. So just so I'm clear, Catherine attended 2 events back to back. When she was told to go for the next event the next day, she wasn't able to attend, which of course got a lot of pushback because everybody was wondering, is this lazy heifer really not going to go to work? Where she literally just sits down, ships a bottle of champagne, bests taxpayers' money, and F's off back home. She's not going to cook. She's not going to clean. Last, she will talk to her kids. That's it. But Catherine was too ill, guys, to go to Royal Ascot. And they told us that, oh, you know, the reason is because, you know, it was boiling hot. You know, they kept on dropping all the... It was boiling hot. It was boiling hot. Last I checked, yesterday, please correct me in the chat, I wasn't in the UK yesterday. Wasn't it 35 degrees yesterday? London squaddies, was it 35 degrees? How hot was it yesterday? Let me check. Because I'm confused. This off and on cancer that Kate used to have. Let me check what the weather was. The London weather yesterday. I heard it was quite hot yesterday. It was like maybe in the 30s. So let me understand this. Kate was not too hot to go and sit down for almost 9 hours at Wimbledon. But she was too hot to attend Royal Ascot. And she also attended Wimbledon yesterday. So she's only able to do back-to-back events on a hot day when she wants to go. And not when she doesn't want to go. And this is the person that our taxpayer money is funding her lifestyle. With her on-again, off-again cancer. Okay. To her fans, I don't even know what to tell you at this point. I just thought it'd be interesting to call it out. That apparently, Princess Catherine can work back-to-back days. But she can only do that on days, on hot days as well. But she's only interested in doing that in things that she wants to do. This is your future queen, ladies and gentlemen. Anyway, so now that we've dragged Kate, because Kate deserves to be dragged. She's a stalker who used her stylist friend to stalk Meghan's pages and get all her content. But because we're not stupid and the world isn't stupid, despite how many times the press says it, we know what our eyes were seeing. We know she was copying Kate. Now, for historical reasons and for posterity, we have the photographic evidence that confirms what we were saying. And notice nobody in the press is going to talk about it, because of course they won't. But they're happy to waste our time investigating where Meghan makes her products. Useless people. So now I'm going to torment you guys slightly. That's why you come here, right? We're going to have a live reaction to Daily Mail Royals. I want to give it to Maureen, Slaptas, and Becky Bighead. If not for you guys, give me steady, long live show content. So, thank you. If not for us dragging you and the 11 million lies that you tell.
Did the late Queen go silent when Prince...
And the 11 million lies that you tell, I wouldn't have anything proper to talk about every week. So, thanks, guys.
Did the late Queen go silent when Prince Harry called her at Buckingham Palace? What was behind William's rebellion at the state visit? What was behind President Macron's wink at Catherine? And what now for Prince Andrew after some big FBI news? We have lots of royal stories to talk about this week. Welcome to Palace Confidential. I'm Jo Eldon, and on today's panel is the Mail on Sunday's editor-at-large, Charlotte Griffiths, and the Mail's diary editor, Richard Eden. It's great to see both of you. Now, you know what comes next, this bit where I give you your weekly reminder now to subscribe to our YouTube channel. Just hit that button, it costs you nothing, and it helps us out a ton. And make sure that you never miss another episode of this or any of our other brilliant shows. Next week, we're putting out a special episode where we answer your royal questions, and the way to make sure that you don't miss that, you know what I'm going to say, is to subscribe to get the notification when it's out. And up next, it's our Acting Royal Marathon, so do stick around for that. Okay, that's all the housekeeping. Let's get going. Richard, let's start with what will be one of the grandest occasions of this entire royal year, the state visit from France. Tell us all about it.
Really well. I love state visits. They're great. It's a chance to sort of show royalty at its finest. And
I got very stressed just looking at the table layout. I couldn't believe how many, it seems like there were thousands of pieces on that table.
Yeah, I mean, the effort that goes into that state banquet at Windsor Castle.
I want to remind everybody that the UK is now in an inflation crisis. Cost of living is extremely high. People are struggling and suffering, but I'm glad that, you know, Macron, his wife, and all his aides were able to enjoy that British tax-paying hospitality. I'm so glad, guys.
Was amazing. But this is the French state visit with Emmanuel Macron, the president, and his wife Brigitte. It's the first state visit for a while, and the first one that Catherine's taken part in for quite some time.
Yeah.
But it's been really significant. I've read a few people saying, oh, it's the first visit by a European leader since Brexit. But it's not really true, because we've had others. We've had the Spanish, but the Spanish head of state, for example, is the king.
Yeah.
So it wasn't the Prime Minister who came, it was the King and Queen. But of course, President of France is their head of state, so he's been here. He gave a speech talking about how the traditional entente cordiale has become entente amicale.
Okay, yeah.
So i.e. we're more friendly than just cordial these days.
Are we?
The government obviously thought
Yeah.
this visit was really important because they're very keen to improve relations with European Union after Brexit. So it's seen as a very important visit, and I think we've had glorious sunshine in London and Berkshire, and so far it's gone very well, I'd say.
Indeed. And a big occasion for King Charles, of course.
Of course, because it's so easy for us to forget that he is still undergoing cancer treatment.
Yeah.
But he's been working very hard, and unfortunately this week he had a bloodshot right eye. The palace was keen to stress that this was nothing to do with his cancer treatment, but was just something unrelated. But it did sort of highlight the strains that he's under. But he made a very good speech. The king loves France, and that's really come across, and you get the impression that he's enjoyed the visit.
Yeah, indeed. Well, they're our neighbours, aren't they? Charlotte, lots of eyes as well on the affectionate nature between William and Catherine at the state banquet.
I know Catherine and William are so at ease with each other these days. They always have been, but they're in this new era now where they're just kind of madly in love, and they're not hiding it from us anymore. You know,
Guys, did you catch all of that? Oh my god, guys. Oh my effing god. She couldn't have been more clear if she wanted to, which I don't think was the point. Yes, she confessed that this new amount of affection that Kate and William are giving each other is so brand new and in love, and they're not hiding it from you anymore. They weren't hiding it from you. They just aren't in love. They are performing for the camera. Oh my God. It's so interesting that they are pretending this nonsense is genuine, but when they see Harry and Meghan loved up, talking about each other, this same woman gets triggered. They're always calling each other my wife, my love, my love, because they love each other, asshole.
They could never really hold hands, and they were quite guarded, especially when the Queen was alive, about touching each other.
Okay.
But now they've got this real ease between them, often touching each other's backs. And Catherine gazes up into William's eyes. It's just really nice. They were completely and utterly in love. It was divine.
What?
Well, speaking of affection, Richard, there was a couple of funny moments, wasn't there? There was one between President Macron of France and Catherine, wasn't there?
He's a cheeky one, that
That was
president.
quite a French.
William might need to watch out, actually.
Yeah.
What?
Well, he I think certainly likes to see himself as a sort of flirtatious type, and we did spot a wink at Catherine, as I think maybe they were doing the toast, their glasses at that point, but...
And he
yeah,
kissed her hand.
I think winking, you don't wink at...
What is going... I'm sorry, what? Look, this was my face watching this entire segment. What? So according to the Daily Mail Royals, the fresh life for the week is, oh my God, Kate and William couldn't touch each other and they couldn't be affectionate with each other because of the Queen. But Harry and Meghan could. All of a sudden, oh my God, for once, they're actually showing us affection. Psyops, guys, they're trying to mess with our heads. Don't fall for it. Now, this article, winking Macron bonds with Kate as royals and rock stars, including Yeager, Elton, attend glittering Windsor Council State banquet thrown by Camilla and Charles for French. They make Macron look like a disgusting, this show is so racist. What in the pipi lep you? Look at this picture. Oh my God, you guys. Because they're trying to make Kate sound like she's some sort of sex symbol like Meghan is. They're basically implying that Macron is a lecher winking at the future queen. What? What is wrong with these people? This is the whole president they are disrespecting like this, by the way.
Future queen, do you?
Apparently you do, if you're the president of France. Yeah.
If only he and Brigitte were so close. I don't think Macron and Brigitte are as close as William and Catherine somehow at the moment.
Okay, I'm pretty sure this Charlotte woman is not well. I think she's delusional, but I don't know if she genuinely believes the lies that she tells. I don't know. But I think there's something fundamentally wrong with these people. Okay, let me just quickly fast forward to this part.
On parade in a very, very formal capacity, and she looked fantastic. It was so nice for everyone that loves Catherine around the world to see her back, really leading the royal family and doing such a formal occasion. It's a sign that she's getting better and she's sort of also more empowered than ever. She really is starting to look regal and like a future queen in waiting.
It's incredible, isn't it?
She's been much missed at the previous state
Yes.
visits. Like when we had the Japanese here last summer, Catherine wasn't there because of her illness, and again with the Qataris, you might remember she met them to greet them, but didn't attend the banquet. So it's wonderful to have her in a tiara and back at the banquet again.
Well, speaking of what she's wearing, we know that Catherine would prefer, we didn't focus on her outfits, but how can you not? I mean, it was just a diplomatic triumph, really, wasn't it? Full of hidden meanings.
Well, the first outfit, the Dior outfit, I thought was inspired because it's that classic Dior French silhouette. And then the state banquet outfit as well was this beautiful cape by Givenchy, by Sarah Burton, her old friend. And she also
designed her wedding dress.
Designed her wedding dress, and she also wore the Order of King Charles III, which is a small portrait of Charles that you wear on your left shoulder.
And am I right in thinking that we haven't seen that before?
No, this is the first time she's worn one of those. She has previously worn...
Right, enough of that nonsense. Guys, did you catch the tea there? So basically, right, I will say this, I'm not even trying to be shady, I love that red dress. I love. It would look better on Meghan because Meghan just looks better. I'm sorry. But that red dress to me was a hit. I love red. I think the way it draped around her emaciated frame, she looked good. I can't even hate. She looked good. That was a beautiful dress. But the shady tea online is while Catherine wore that Dior jacket, which is nice. Dior didn't say anything about it. But if it was Meghan, they would have made a whole press release to let the world know that Meghan is wearing our dress. Why? Say it with me, the Meghan effect. Because they know full and damn well the instant they post that dress, it's going to sell out. And who doesn't want that money? So yeah, I just wanted to be shady and say that for all the talk about Kate's fashion, none of the houses that she wore posted anything to commemorate her wearing their clothes because they know that she doesn't sell clothes. So the BS about Kate motivating a $1 billion company industry in fashion, that is what it is. Fan fiction, lies, and BS.
How he would feel if he was still there.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I know what he means.
Let me see if they have anything. Don't worry, I'm not playing the whole thing. I just wanted to see what nonsense they had to say about.
Been hiding so well. Love you, a Colorado mountain.
She had allegedly said about Meghan and her relationship with the Queen. And what Richard had,
He's waiting for the tide to come. Oh. Richie Peachy was one from Larissa. We also spotted a Richie Rich in there.
all right, this is quite enough.
Guys. While Rich Manhattanite says, you don't even...
Ew.
He's written his own follow-up where he talks about this apparent silence that the late Majesty gave Harry. What's this all about?
Yeah, this was a...
So guys, yes, okay, this is what I was looking for. Sorry for the delay. I didn't want to listen to these people and their affected accents talk. Unfortunately, there is Meghan content in here, and it's the usual BS, but that's why we're here, to discredit the BS.
Silence
Sorry, I was supposed to share my screen. Bear with me.
the late Majesty gave Harry. What's this all about?
Yeah, this was a really interesting feature.
Let's see. So according to this article, which is of course the Daily Mail, toilet paper as we call them in the UK, this week the late monarch's cousin, who is dead, was reported to have said the prince blew his relationship with grandmother over Meghan. So guess what? They're asking their quote-unquote royal expert, Richard K, for the tea, idiots.
We'll be able to find it online still, and it followed up what we discussed last week about Lady Elizabeth Anson, Queen Elizabeth's cousin and great friend, and what she had allegedly said about Meghan and her relationship with the Queen. And what Richard he had spoken to a switchboard operator at the palace. Actually, Richard's got great contacts.
Lord.
Yeah, and this was one. What he said was very interesting. The switchboard operator said that when she used to put callers through to the Queen would always immediately say, "Oh, thank you very much," and she'd always say something nice, you know. But on this occasion, she was putting Prince Harry through from America. I think it was during lockdown, perhaps, and so there was just a very awkward, long, silent pause, and this made the switchboard operator think, "Oh, what's going on here?" And like the Queen did take the call eventually, so she put her through. But she said that's the first time, I think, ever that she just had that long silent pause. So you can almost sort of hear Queen Elizabeth thinking, "Oh, you know, do I have to take that call?"
She's probably bracing herself. You know, every call from Harry around that time was another dose of bad news or a complaint or a grumble or a problem.
Well, remember that...
I want to know how long the silence was. Do we have that?
Yeah.
So, yeah.
I mean, Harry had spoken a lot, and in his memoirs again, he had this sort of idea that if he had his grandmother on her own in a meeting, that she would say one thing and it would be completely different from what he would hear via the courtiers. And that was something he felt really strongly.
is it, you know, speaking out of turn, I slightly suspect that he desperately wanted to believe that when actually she was actually, that the courtiers were doing what they're asked to do.
Yeah, reflecting her wishes. Because
Yeah.
of course she was the boss. She was the boss
Yeah.
of the whole firm. They wouldn't go behind her back and act on a decision that she would wholeheartedly disagree with. So I think you're completely right with what you just said.
It was comforting for him to think that something he didn't agree with wouldn't have been her view.
So again, guys, this is why we do what we do. Everything that they are saying here is not based on any fact, is not based on anything. They are literally just saying that the third party gist they heard from a guy who was harassing the staff at in the royal family, so much so that if what he's saying is to be believed, he was able to get a contact in the Queen's switchboard team to tell him that there was one time Harry called in year 2022, this thing, and the Queen gave a long pause before taking his call. I want you all to think about that. Let me say it again. They have created a whole story, a third party account of a story from somebody we can't verify. We don't know if this is even correct. We don't know if this is true. We don't know if there were technical issues. We don't even know if there was a long pause. But they've decided to report this information as fact. And do you know what's going to happen next? They'll report it here because, of course, they don't have any integrity. Then GB News will pick it up. Then the Sun newspaper will pick it up, because it's in Daily Mail, so they all help each other out. The Sun newspaper will make an entire talking point about it. GB News, Talk TV will make an entire talking point about it, and that is their news cycle for the week. They are now, I told you last week, they are using the late Queen because everything they have said based on actual information is a lie. Harry and Meghan's marriage is not in trouble. Meghan has a fantastic, lucrative deal with Netflix. So that deal is not going anywhere. The kids are safe. Harry is looking good. His hair is growing back. He's using sacred protein treatment. So every time we speak about things, and since Meghan has come back on social media and companies and the power that we thought that we had to tank deals for Meghan doesn't actually exist in reality. How do we spoil her reputation and keep hate for profit going? I know, let's use people that can never verify. Let's use people that can never speak back. Let's use the late Queen. Ooh, the Queen is a good one. She inspires so much emotion out of people. Okay, great, we use the Queen. Then let's use other late relatives. Very soon they'll be reporting us live what the Queen Mother was thinking via seance. Exactly, Kevin. That's what I'm saying. People lie, men lie, someone lies. Numbers don't lie. But sometimes we have to react to them so that we can debunk as much of the lies in real time as possible. So that in case somebody comes across my video one day and they get to this point and they're like, oh, wow, okay, so what he's saying is not true.
Interesting, isn't it? Because we've had stressed time and time again this glowing, positive portrayal of Harry's relationship with his grandmother. But there's some reports coming out now that really just sort of like give a different slant.
Yeah, more and more there's now a picture emerging of a queen that wasn't that affectionate towards her son, her grandson towards the end, basically, is the only way I can put it, really. And in fact, quite hurt by his behaviour. Because, you know, when they were bending the rules and changing things to suit themselves in the build-up to their wedding, I didn't really ever acknowledge that these kind of things were actually hurting the Queen's feelings. You know, they were cutting her out. That's a picture that's emerged in the last couple of weeks. They were cutting her out of the wedding. And that when they made these little tweaks, they offended her, and she was actually quite upset. And I'd never really thought about it that way. I thought she was probably, you know, exasperated, but I didn't realise she was hurt and offended. And that's, you know, more and more reports are coming out suggesting that's the case.
I remember we had quite a bit of this out in the open at the time. For example, Harry made that public comment about I want to make sure that my grandmother's got the right people around
I thought that was
her."
extraordinary.
And that was really offensive, and that was taken at the time to be a reference to maybe Angela. Sorry, I forget her
Angela
surname.
Kelly.
Angela Kelly.
You know, known as AK-47 because of her sort of confrontational nature. And obviously, she wasn't a fan of Harry and Meghan. That seemed to be clear.
But I also think there's an inference in that comment that she's this frail old lady who's vulnerable and easily manipulated and all. And do you know what I mean? I thought that was a bit sort of patronising.
Well, it was definitely patronising.
Yeah.
We know this in the sense that the Queen met the new Prime Minister 2 days before her death. She met the outgoing one, Boris Johnson, and the incoming one, Liz Truss. And
Yeah.
even though she was very ill at that point, she clearly still had her marbles. You know?
Yeah, completely with it. And it was very, very poignant in her assessment of Meghan, by all accounts. Said that, well, through Lady Elizabeth Outson, said that perhaps she engineered the whole thing. I thought that was absolutely fascinating. She was a very shrewd woman.
Well,
What are you talking? What? Do you see what these people are doing, guys? So, you see what they are doing, right? This is why I tell you that if you're a follower of royal news, you have to be careful where you get your information from. I don't know, everything they are saying about the Queen and her perception of Harry and Meghan is not based off anything the Queen said or anything the Queen did. They are using a dead woman's third-party account of something that she heard while this woman was alive to create exactly ML Michael. That's exactly what they are doing. They are rewriting history. Why? Because there's already, look, very simple. Because when you can no longer lie to people, right? When you can't lie to people, then you go back in time and take the words of people who can't defend themselves and use it to write a new story. Harry's book is the only book that we have definitively from a member of the royal family about his experience as a member of the royal family. We get his own, in his own words. So, and honestly, let's keep it 100. You will never be able to top that. You will never be able to top that type of, that type of information sharing coming directly from source in his own voice. History is not going to come and look for slapped ass bitch boy Maureen and pathological liar Charlotte, whatever she calls herself. History is going to read Harry's book. History is going to listen to Harry's voice notes. And these things are important because you don't want anybody else writing your story for you. And I am going to trust people in the future. When they look at the facts, they'll be like, okay, this is what the press was saying, if they even reference the press at all. And then they go and read Harry's book and read about how he loves his wife, how he loves his children, how he loved his grandmother, how he loved his mom, and how he loves his brother. That is what history will remember, not the ramblings of three losers looking for money online and whipping up the excitement of the Rangers, pretending as if they have some sort of insider information about the royal family. None of these people have ever made eye contact with anybody in the royal family. They literally just vomit information they are given. So they are the PR arm of the royal family. So that's how useless they are. But because, unfortunately, thanks to independent media on the internet, every clown gets a platform, including me. So let me see if they have anything else useful to say. But I guess what I just wanted to say there is, I'm going to take the Queen's treatment of Meghan as how she saw Meghan. Some of the things they said the Queen did. The Queen allowed Doria to come and spend Christmas with them at Sandringham, I think, because Meghan was lonely. And probably because she saw what her father did to her. Or where the Queen allowed Meghan to go for a ride in her private train, something that Kate never got to do. I believe that was the Queen's way of showing the world that whatever and even though she could have done a lot more, let's keep it 500%, in her own way, that was her way of telling the world, I accept this woman. She is my family. Back off. Which they didn't do. So it's interesting now that they're pretending the Queen, When the Queen sent that very obvious message that you should respect Meghan, did you respect Meghan? Did you stop talking about her in your newspapers? Did you not accuse her of everything? The only thing you didn't call that woman was a black bitch. Yes, you called her everything under the sun, insinuated and poured oil over everything she tried to do, tried to tank her, tried to make her look bad, tried to make her seem like a bully, lying about, her relationship with Kate and with William. What didn't you do to this woman? So now you suddenly are pretending that you care about what the Queen thought about Meghan. When you were bullying her sister, her granddaughter-in-law, the mother of her great-grandchild. Exactly. Thank you, Lorna. Like I said, God knows I am not a fan of Her Majesty, but I believe in her own silent way, she probably tried to help Meghan the best way. And to the point about the Queen being misused, of course, people took advantage of her and disrespected her. She gave Frogmore Cottage to Harry and Meghan as a gift. Why did the king take it back? If you respected the Queen's wishes so much, why did you take back the gift that was given to Harry and Meghan from the Queen? If you respected the Queen so much, why did you take away their security when the Queen said give them security? And the British press acting like oh no, why would he talk as if, the late Queen had no agency? How do we know she did at the end? Harry clearly said it himself, that all the things that they agreed to, a lot of them were not adhered to. They were meant to give them money. They were meant to give them money for their upkeep for a year. They didn't get that money. They were meant to keep their security for their upkeep to keep his security. They took his security away. So you know that information, but in your mind, people were not taking advantage of the Queen. Again, when they can't influence history, they are going to try and rewrite it. And we can't let them do that. Ooh, my leg hurts. Let me just stretch. Yeah. We can't let them do that, guys. We can't let them rewrite history. That's why we do what we do. But that's why we ask you guys to support us. We can't keep on allowing these people to write history. Shout out to Kevin Slims. Thank you so much for your super chat. I do appreciate it. Thank you for supporting the channel. Guys, don't forget what I said. Please, 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 please continue to support the channel. Please like, subscribe, and share. Please like, subscribe, and share. Thank you, Cookie Monster. Please like, subscribe, and share. Thank you, thank you, thank you. So one last thing for us as we have finished with the useless royal family and their shenanigans this week. Let's end on a high note. Oh, thank you. Yeah, I've removed one of them. Sorry, I don't see all of them. I wanted us to look at some of the reviews from Meghan's wine. Those of you who missed my short, good news for me is that I got notification when I got back from Portugal that the As Ever wine has shipped. So because I am using a post box, oh thank you, because I am using a post box in Florida, and because America's mail system is ridiculous, by the way, is God knows when I will get my wine. My hope is because she's using FedEx, it will be quick, so I can get it in the UK and give my thoughts. Meghan, if you're watching this, ignore the British press. You have fans here. Let's talk about international shipping, girl. We are thirsty. So I have some As Ever reviews here. I'll put a compilation of videos together. So we're going to quickly react to this. I'm very excited. Don't worry, as soon as I get my wine, I'm going to chill it. I was warned that with rosé, you chill it, you don't put it in ice. Thank you. So let's listen to the lovely review from In Style. Guys, do you agree with me? I think Meghan is beginning to use In Style a bit more. She's also the one that she leaked information, that she gave information to about the state of her inventory. And In Style, look, to me, these articles need to understand, just play ball. Keep it simple, keep it normal. Nobody will, they will work with you. You don't have to be snarky and be nasty. Just report the news as you were given. We didn't ask you for your opinion. Keep it simple, keep it neutral. We will engage with you. When you start bashing Meghan, that's when we block your ass. Right, so I know, Canada, right? So let's listen to this beautiful review of Meghan's Napa Valley Rosé. In Style, Meghan Sussex. Oh my God, why is that so hard for this book to say? Meghan Sussex's new rosé. Here's whether the $30 wine is worth the hype. It tastes like a drink that Meghan and Diana would have enjoyed together. Brava, Meghan, brava. The gist. Meghan Sussex's As Ever lifestyle brand released its first alcohol product, a 2023 Napa Valley Rosé, on July 1st. On July 9th, a package with 3 bottles of the bespoke blend showed up on my doorstep. So twist my arm, I imbibed in the name of journalism. Lol. Here's my honest review of the new As Ever Rosé. Following 2 drops of food products, including her famous jam and flour sprinkles on July 1st, Meghan Markle released her first alcoholic offering, a 2023 Napa Valley Rosé, on what would have been her mother-in-law, Princess Diana's 64th birthday. When a package with 3 bottles of As Ever Rosé showed up on my doorstep on July 9th, I enlisted my husband to taste test the bespoke blend with me. Ooh la la. After playing pretend sommeliers in our kitchen, looking at each other, we simultaneously took our first sips to gauge the other's reaction. I've gathered my honest thoughts of the rosé, which the company said is first of many in its forthcoming wine offerings. This Christmas is about to be lit. Beautiful Meghan. Okay, the bottle describes the pour as a delicately balanced rosé with soft notes of stone fruit, gentle minerality, and a lasting finish. Beyond the marketing speak, in layman's terms, the rosé is good. My experience with it, it is smooth, almost dangerously smooth. As we finished the whole bottle in one night without even trying. Wow. And no, I'm not hungover this morning. It goes down easy and is dry and light. To hear my husband describe it, his 3 adjectives were lively, refreshing, and pleasant. Mine, flavorful, sweet, and enjoyable. Woohoo! As Ever Rosé, As Ever Rosé sold out in less than an hour on July 1st. Priced at $30 per bottle and sold in sets of 3 bottles. Consumers were taking a gamble on rosé they'd never tried, committing to 3 bottles while not yet knowing exactly if they'd even want to finish the first. As customers' packages arrive any day now, I think they'll be glad they made the investment, albeit maybe against their will, in 3 bottles. You can also buy half cases for $159 and full cases for $300. Okay, Meghan, make that money. With every As Ever product Meghan releases, the pressure is on. Unfortunately, people want to see the Duchess of Sussex fail. Exactly. So you can safely bet that As Ever isn't going to release a product unless it's good. And this rosé is good. Really good, actually. Made in small batches, the bespoke blend is the first of a collection of wines joining as ever's lineup. According to the company, a method Champagne's Napa Valley sparkling wine is planned for the near future, with other wines to follow after. Guys, I am losing my effing mind. I'm losing my mind, guys. Ah! As in, I know that I'm going to like the rosé, even though it's not really my thing. But do you know what I'm looking forward to? The sparkling wine. Ooh, I love a prosecco. I love champagne. And yeah, I'm very excited. If she goes red, I'm not sure if I'll buy because I'm not really a red girl. So I'll leave that for you guys. But if she goes port, ooh. And guys, as I was saying last week, alcohol is where the money is at. Like, we are talking billionaire brands. Alcohol can really look at Beyonce with Sir Davies, right? Even though she's selling whiskey, the sky is the limit, y'all. And honestly, I'm so excited. Let me check and see how far because I got the FedEx notification. Wow. So I'm checking from what I can see. Okay, they haven't processed it, but it's sitting in American Canyon, US. It hasn't moved from there yet. Hopefully to be on the way. I hope it's quick. If I can get it, I don't know, you guys and your mail in the US is somehow, it's like, are they walking to each state? Don't they have cars? Like, it's so weird. And trains. Anyway, your packages take a long time to go from side to side, so I don't even know. But I'm hoping I can get it to the facility that I'm using max by the end of the week, so that they can package an expedited shipment for me. As soon as I get it, I'm going to put it in the fridge, and I'm going to have a live reaction, and I'm going to compile a list of people reacting to the Azeva Rosé. So yeah, guys, that wasn't fun. Let me see. I think I had one more video about with Love Meghan. Let me see if I still have that video. And a lot of people. Oh, one thing I also wanted to say. My order number is around the 3,000s. And I'm thinking, okay, my order is 3,000, and I ordered 3 bottles of wine. So that's 3,000 times 300 bottles. So that's about, sorry, no, 3,000 times 3, that's 9,000. So she sold, by getting to me, if the other numbers are supposed to be an actual stock count, she sold, if she said, if each order is 3,000, is 3 per order, minimum of 3. So that's, she has stock. But as of now, getting to my number, she sold 9,000 bottles of wine. That's crazy. That is crazy. In one drop. And like I said, by getting to me, that means that if you have, like, your order is in the 10,000s or something, then it means that she's selling a lot, right? By the fact that she's even able to sell out 3,000 or even 9,000, 10,000, hell, even 100,000 in one drop. In one drop, guys, just one release, in an hour you've sold out all your entire stock. That's crazy. That's an unprecedented level of wealth for alcohol. And I can actually, I hope she gets to collaborate with other people so she can spread some of their good luck. But I don't know, I can understand why she would be careful about how she does business. Like they said, people want her to fail. Wow. Wow, really? That's interesting, Lorna. So we've had the raspberry, we've had the apricot. Somebody was saying that she's doing if she's doing strawberry, I will get like, I'm gonna get like 6 jars. Screw that. I'll get 6 jars. I don't even think I'll stay for the flour sprinkles. I don't think I'll stay for the for the flour sprinkles, guys. I would just go straight buy that one, let it go. Then I'll go and get the next set. I'll buy if I don't know if she will produce another type of honey, but yeah, I will do strawberry. I'll do an if she happens to get all 3 out at the same time. What I'll put 6 in the I'll first of all take 6 of the strawberry. I'll take 2 of the apricot and 6 of the raspberry because I have a feeling I'll love it, and I'll move everything to my house. Haters, it will only be for me. I'm not sharing with anybody. Sorry. So yeah, and I don't know because I've never tasted honey like the honey she has, which is fantastic. Do you guys think she will bring out another type of honey? What do you think? Or maybe a new flavor of tea. But it might be that she's saving all the new bits for her season 2. Oh God, I'm so excited, guys. There's so much to buy. Take our money, Meghan. Sussex Squad, you guys have money. I see how you move on X. Somebody was posting a video. Let me show you something. Oh, thank you for reminding me. Let me show you guys something. When I tell people that don't mess with the squaddies are loaded. Sorry, I saw the article, but because of the way, yeah, I found her. I found her. When I tell you guys that squaddies are loaded, you people will be thinking, why do you think Meghan is selling out? Don't play with the pockets of squaddies, please. Don't even saying that black women can't afford Le Creuset. Excuse me? Excuse me? You're going to eat your words. Check this out, guys. You see this B word, Camilla Thomas. So Judy in that Richmond, she said, sat behind Camilla Tominey at Wimbledon. Don't worry, Sussex Squad. I mentioned I was a Harry and Meghan fan and that she blocked me on Twitter for calling her a wanker. The reason why I'm saying that is Judy lives in Richmond. Richmond is one of the richest boroughs in London. And look at where Judy was sitting behind Camilla. That's a floor seat at Wimbledon. That's not a cheap seat. And the fact that she was able to sit close enough to a woman like Camilla, who is a personality and can probably afford seats like that, tells you where her pocket is. This Judy lady is not a poor woman. And this is something that you should know about the squad. The squad, while we are diverse, if nothing else, if you've seen our purchasing power, and it's not just the squad, by Meghan going into luxury, affordable luxury, she has unlocked a market of women and men who want to taste that royal lifestyle, but at a price point that is relatable. If you tell me that the Hutchinson's farm supplies Harrods with strawberry preserve and it costs £60, or I can buy Meghan's that costs what, £8? It came from the Duchess of Sussex, but it's cheaper. So I still get that royal feel I'm looking for, but at a price point I can afford if I want to luxuriate myself. Oh really, Kevin? I had no idea. Shout out to Kevin, guys. Thanks for all the support. Or flower sprinkles, something I didn't even know was a thing. It seemed like luxury thing, and look, now it's available to a mass market of people who also want to use flower sprinkles when they make their pizza because it makes them feel good. or hybrid. Okay, those teas, I've seen them before, but I wanted to see her blend. Those of you that got the teas, please let me know what your thoughts are about the teas. I do love teas, but I didn't buy. Or her cookie mix, or her crepe mix. People will say, oh, you can buy it cheaper elsewhere. And I was like, again, anybody who says that is an idiot and is missing the point. Human beings like luxury. We like to feel, what's what I'm looking for? We like to feel good. And in this current day and age, a certain curated lifestyle does make people feel good. It's something nice to aspire to. And Meghan understands that as somebody who didn't grow up with wealth, right? She grew up in an environment where she had to work her way up. So she is now at a very high peak, but she hasn't forgotten what it was like to not have these things. And that's why you see it in her goods. You see it in the way other members of the royal family do as well. When they try and sell you things, they are looking at it from a rich man's perspective. Many of these people have never held money before. They've never had to worry about where will eggs come from, where will milk come from, how will I afford the latest designer dress. And don't forget, a lot of these people, with all their wealth, they get a lot of things for free as well, because it is good publicity to be seen with these people. Yeah, but what Meghan has done is taking it to a whole new level. I'm very sure Dolce and Gabbana would love Kate Middleton to wear their dress. Of course, it's something they can put and say, oh, look, Kate Middleton wore my dress, or Princess Sophie wore my dress, or something like that. But Meghan, if Meghan wears their dress, not only it kind of like, I don't know how to describe it. There's a difference between saying someone like Beyonce wore a Dolce and Gabbana dress and someone like Dua Lipa. Am I using the right comparison? Dua Lipa is an international star, yes, but it's Beyonce. Name matters. So that's why I'm not. So when you people could come around and say, oh, you know, Meghan's reach, Meghan's influence, the Meghan effect, and how are people going to relate to it, that's just BS. People are out here buying $5,000 bags because they want to be seen on TV. They're buying Balenciaga, of all things. They're buying expensive shoes that don't last because there's something to a brand. And Meghan is very cleverly setting herself up as a brand. The Sussexes are already a brand. That's why they are so successful. They are a brand. They are love. They are a modern fairy tale come to life. And that's what people are liking about it. Oh, it's so cute. Oh, it's so cute. Oh, if I get this, I could be like Meghan. It's aspirational. And that is that star quality I was telling you guys about at the beginning. That I'm not worried about Kate being a stalker and a thief. In fact, it just confirms what we're saying, that Meghan is the blueprint. Let her do her thing. Meghan is the blueprint, and it doesn't matter how many times the British press denies it. Those of us that have a brain, that have eyes, that in the independent media, we know what we see. So it is what it is. Let her keep copying. I don't care. And you shouldn't either. So we're talking about as ever. So a quick recap of all the things that we have said today. Thank you for staying with me. Almost 2 hours. Well done, us. Quick recap. Yes, we know Kate's stylist is we know Kate is stalking and copying Meghan's style. But we already knew that. But it's nice that we have that confirmation, and it goes into record it goes into the record. So the British press, as much as they might ignore it, is still on record that she steals Meghan's styles. So thank you for validating that for us, Kate. We spoke about William and the state visit. Did we? You see, this is how boring they are. Oh yes, we spoke about Kate and the state visit and William. I was saying that I liked Kate's red dress because that color was pretty. I was saying that it was shady that Dior did not even post or release a press release that, oh look, Kate Middleton is wearing our jacket. Here is where you can buy it. They didn't even bother because they know that it's not going to sell out if she wears it. If it were Meghan, woo! As if, even before Meghan comes out of the car, they will quickly go and run. This is our jacket. This is the link. Go and buy. because they know Meghan will sell it out. So there was no need posting it. Let's give it 500%. And then we spoke about the outrage over Harry's comms team meeting with Buckingham Palace comms team. To me, there's no news here. And I'm not going to join the British media in that stupid speculation of peace talks. I'm not wasting my time with that. Until Harry and his team come out and tell us what exactly that was about, I'm not going to join that speculation. And of course, we spoke about Duchess Meghan and her continuing success as a brand. And yeah. Exactly. Thank you, Kevin. Kevin has been has really supported me today, guys. Please help me send a like and a heart out to Kevin. Thank you so much. Yeah, you're right. I agree. Well, I mean, you feel it's overkill, but to be fair, we haven't seen her outside in a bit. So to her, I'll give Kate that one. I did like the dress personally, and everything. And yes, exactly. Meghan is marketing towards women, and I think millennial women, can relate to Meghan. And Meghan, look, to end this whole thing, Meghan is the biggest star in the royal family. That's why I said people lie, man lie, woman lie, numbers don't. Nobody sells out 3 for 3. I don't think I've heard this in modern times. Anybody's product selling out 3 for 3 3 times. Nah, come on now. I think this is, I've never heard, I don't know about you guys. I'm not even trying to exaggerate Meghan here, but I have never heard it before. So I'm curious to see if the rest of her things, while I do appreciate the sellout was not her intention, but I'm curious to see what is the sweet spot. How much stock is she going to need to have to not sell out? What do you guys think? I think I'm going to just throw a number out there. I think she's going to need like 1 million. However they decide to scale that up, she's going to need at least 1 million moving. I don't know how they plan on scaling that up, but yeah, like, I'm not saying 1 million moving, but like, set up production for at least 500,000 per product. Start there and see how long. I know they will want to do it incrementally because it's food products, and they probably don't have a plan on how to store it for a long time to keep its freshness. So I would say maybe start with 100, keep it in 100 and 500,000. I want to see something, because I know if Meghan sells at 500,000 items, we will hear about it. Then I'm very curious to see what the British press are going to say. Most likely they will say it's a lie. Most likely they will now be looking for how to try to delude us into High Grove also sells. It doesn't. And yeah, it's an interesting thing. That's the problem, isn't it? I think what she should do is don't let this thing blow up too much. Again, to maintain, if you do stock of 100 to 500,000 at a time, that's okay. Then at least you know that, okay, with every, if I'm doing one drop for apricots, 500,000, all of them, 500,000 for strawberry. What else? And the honeys. Okay, I don't know if she can get up to 500,000 for honey though. I doubt it. Maybe 55,000 or less. I don't know. She will need an actual honey factory for that. But yeah, to your point, I agree with Tracy. How to maintain all that and maintain quality. But that's why Netflix is her business partner. They'll figure it out. But I'm pretty sure if Meghan sells out 500,000 stock immediately, then that's newsworthy. If I were her, I would do a podcast and tell the whole damn world, and look, I sold 500,000 stock, man, in an hour. Netflix has done a good one with this. I'm very excited to see where it goes. But yeah, guys, hopefully you enjoyed our chat today. Like I said, I prefer having these on Saturday because, you know, well, I was traveling yesterday. Now that we're back in UK time, there are some videos I'm going to post a reaction to. but I'm just giving it a few minutes because I think the more Meghan continues. Oh yes, of course, Masha. Easily. That's what I'm saying, Kevin. I want Meghan to go and give a press conference. And you know what? I don't even want Meghan. I want Ted Sarandos. I want somebody from Netflix to say, Meghan has been a fantastic hit for us, that she sold out 500,000 stock. You know the British press will not report it. Or if they report it, they'll be shady. As if selling 500,000 stock of anything is an easy thing to do. Talk of 1,000. But yeah. Thank you all for joining my live. I hope you have a good week. Take care of yourself. Take care of your health. And I will catch you up during the week. Take care, guys. Thank you for all your support. Bye.